comedy poetry starring talented actors Zoe, Dara, and Alexandra.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Me.
Me who?
That's right.
What's right?
Me who?
That's what I want to know.
What's what you want to know?
Me who?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly what?
Yes, I have exactly what on the chain.
Exactly what's on the chain?
Yes.
Yes, what?
No, exactly what?
That's what I want to know.
I told you exactly what.
That's what I want to know.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, it's with me.
What's with you?
Exactly what? That's what's with me.
Me who?
Yes.
Go away.
Knock, knock.
Now for wonderful Sharuni in 1M, who will be singing Colors of the Wind. You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you learn things you never knew, you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue cold moon? Or else a grinning bobcat whining grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountains? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the
Now we have Dean and KGP showing us a brilliant magic feather trick with a film.
Alright, I'm gonna do a circle like this. And that's it.
Now, the amazingly talented Jiyeon is going to play Feliz Navidad on the grand piano. the famous performing arts teacher, Mrs. Dean is going to perform a piece of poetry called Cinderella.
I like the famous performing arts teacher. Okay. I guess I think that you know the story, but you don't. The real one's much more gory. The phony one, the one you know, was cooked up years and years ago and made to sound all soft and sappy just to keep the children happy. Mind you, they got the first bit right, the bit where, in the dead of night, the ugly sisters, jewels and all, departed for the palace ball, while darling little Cinderella was locked up in the slimy cellar, where rats she wanted things to eat began to nibble at her feet. She bellowed, "Help! And let me out!" The magic fairy heard her shout. Appearing a blaze of light, she said, "My dear, are you all right?" "All right," cried Cindy. "Can't you see? I feel as rotten as can be." She beat her fist against the wall and shouted, "Get me to the ball!" There is a disco at the palace. The rest have gone and I am jealous. I want a dress, I want a coach, and earrings and a diamond brooch, and silver slippers, 2 of these, and lovely nylon pantyhose. Thereafter it will be a cinch to hook the handsome royal prince. The fairy said, "Hang on a tick," and quickly, in no time at all, Cindy was at the palace ball. To make the ugly sisters wince to see her dancing with the prince, she held him very tight and pressed herself against his manly chest. The prince himself was turned to a pulp, and all he could do was gasp and gulp. Then midnight struck, she shouted, "Heck! I've got to run to save my neck!" The prince cried, "No, alas, alack!" He grabbed her dress to hold her back. As Cindy shouted, "Let me go!" the dress was ripped from head to toe. She ran out in her underwear, but lost one slipper on the stair. The prince was on it like a dart. He pressed it to his pounding heart. "The girl this slipper fits," he cried, "tomorrow morning will be my bride. I'll visit every house in town until I track the maiden down." Then rather carelessly, I fear, he placed it on a crate of beer. At once one of the ugly sisters, the one whose face was blotched with blisters, sneaked up and grabbed the dainty shoe and quickly flushed it down the loo. Then in its place she calmly put the slipper from her own left foot. Aha, you see, the plot grows thicker, and Cindy's luck starts looking sicker. Next day the prince went charging down to knock on all the doors in town. In every house the tension grew. Who was the owner of the shoe? The shoe was huge and frightfully wide, and all the foot got lost inside. Also, it smelled a wee little bit icky. The owner's feet were hot and sticky. Thousands of eager people came to try it on, but all in vain. Now came the ugly sisters go. One tried it on, the prince screamed, "No!" But she screamed, "Yes, it fits! Whoopee! So now you've got to marry me!" The prince went white from ear to ear. He muttered, "Let's get out of here." "Oh, no you don't! You made a vow! There's no way you can go back in it now." "Off with her head!" the prince roared back. They chopped it off with one big whack. This pleased the prince. He smiled and said, "She's prettier without her head." Then up came sister number 2, who yelled, "Now I will try on the shoe." "Try this instead," the prince yelled back, and he swung his trusty sword and smack. Her head went crashing to the ground. It bounced a bit and rolled around. In the kitchen, peeling spuds, Cinderella heard the thuds of bouncing heads upon the floor and poked her head around the door. "What's all the racket?" Cindy cried. "Mind your own biz," the prince replied. Poor Cindy's heart was torn in shreds. My prince, she thought, he chops off heads. How can I marry one who does that sort of thing for fun? The prince cried, "Who's this dirty one? Off with her nut! Off with her nut!" Just then, all in a blaze of light, the magic fairy hove in sight. Her magic wand went swoosh and swish. "Cindy," she cried, "come make a wish. Wish anything and have no doubts that I will make it come about." Cindy answered, "Oh, kind fairy, this time I shall be more wary. No more princes, no more money. I have my taste of honey. I'm wishing for a decent lad. They're hard to find. Do you think you can?" Within a minute, Cinderella was married to a lovely fella. A simple jam maker by trade, whose soap sold good homemade marmalade. Their house was filled with smiles and laughter, and they were happy ever after.
And next coming up is our wonderful Camilla in grade 3 singing and dancing to AA.
We're building up the tension. You know sure it works in this computer, Anna?